Okay, welcome back. This is Jack and Hyatt's YouTube channel. This is our first actual podcast, what we're hoping to do more often here. And I'm going to be your main host today. Me and Eric both know a lot about this, but uh, I think we think that I know a bit more about it, so I'll kind of take the lead. Eric, you got anything to add to that?
Whatever he said.
There you go. Oh, and our Instagram, I'm gonna type it in on the description. You can go check that out. Have we posted
Oh
any?
yeah.
Have we posted anything on that?
Only on a story post, but that's about it.
Okay, we'll get on that though. We won't, you know, we'll get on that stuff. Okay, Eric, I'm gonna have you answer this one. I'm gonna put you kind of on the spot. Uh,
Okay. What do we got? Dead
well,
A.
talk about a pair of boots that you have right now. How you like them? What they're made out of? How much they cost? Do you enjoy it?
I currently have three different kinds of boots on hand right now. I've got the ones I got with you. I got the ones my very first pair of boots, and then I got crappy Walmart boots for work.
Okay, okay. So let's talk about the crappy Walmart ones first.
I want to go grab those real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So these piles of garbage, they're very cheap. They're very cheaply made. You can very clearly tell they're cheaply made. They're steel toe combat boots that I originally bought for work because I'm a diesel mechanic. Or I'm a diesel mechanic for Walmart. So I've gotten better boots for work now. So I've now used these for like as my concert boots because they're cheap, steel toe. So, they're kind of perfect as a concert boot. They're combat boot, at least they look of one. What honestly something I'm very surprised about is that these are actually very warm and very comfortable.
When you
Like
when you
you
when you say warm, what do you mean by that?
like when it's like cold outside, like how it like snowed a few days ago
Yeah.
or like last week. Surprisingly enough, between all my boots, these were the warmest boots I had on. Like these kept my feet very fucking warm. For how cold it was outside.
Okay. You know the brand, or are they kind of just like Walmart
They're just
brand?
they're just generic Walmart boots. I can tell you the type of boot they are. They're called the Interceptors.
Okay. Okay.
They're supposedly oil resistant and slip resistant, so there's that.
What are they made out of?
Like nylon and fake leather, some rubber here and there.
Okay. Cool. Uh, how much they cost? You think they too expensive, or you think they're pretty
Oh,
fairly
they're
priced?
cheap, all right. They were like I think I got them for like $40 or some shit.
See, that's cool. Me myself, I got a pair of Keen boots from Goodwill because I got to save some money, and
Yeah.
they were in pretty good shape. I bought them for about $45. Wore them till I wore a hole in the sole, but same type of thing. They were fabric and uh, they were Keen boots, and I enjoyed them.
Yeah, for a budget boot, they're nice.
Yeah, and they're much more flexible than some of my other boots. Are yours fairly flexible?
Yeah, mine are mostly flexible. They're a little stiffer than most, but the
Okay,
most annoying part about the boot is honestly the steel toe, just how
okay,
it kind of rubs up against your feet the whole time.
yeah,
Outside of that, it's perfectly fine. You barely notice it.
gotcha, gotcha. Well, cool. Well, I'll go ahead and start talking about I don't want to say worst, but cheapest boot. Um, so my cheapest boot right now is a pair of I think that they're what do you call them? Ariats. I bought them
All right,
probably 4 years ago.
it's a
Uh,
good.
destroyed them. I mean, destroyed them. My back when I was living with my parents, my mom wanted me to throw them away. Um, they're just good mud boots. I can mess around with them. I can
I
go.
remember those boots.
Yeah, I just don't care about them. Something to throw on if I'm gonna be in, poop or fuck, you're fishing or it's a throwaway boot.
Yeah, wasn't the sole falling off from the rest of the boot?
Yeah, it was, and then I went to Walmart and bought some like crazy thick needles, and I like sewed the sole back onto it.
Basically, you just willed it into existence.
Yeah, it wanted to die. I said no. So
That's messed up, Jack.
yeah,
Boot lives matter.
but they were fabric lined, uh, rubber sole, had a fake heel cap made out of plastic, uh, and I liked them. I
You
don't
know, off
regret.
fucking Timu.
No, I got them from Boot Barn. Uh, Back when I started metal shop in high school, I needed a pair of boots, so me and my dad went to Boot Barn and bought a pair. Uh, and I just didn't know what I was looking at, so that was my first pair of like actual boots. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed them. Uh, all right, man. What's another pair of boots you got?
Well, my other pair of boots would be my first pair of boots. They're also a work boot type as well.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to pronounce the name because I can't see it very well because they're so badly. Because I've worn these so much to the point where they're starting to kind of fall apart.
Yeah.
It's like Durango or something like that. Durango.
Yeah, Durango. That's a pretty big brand.
Durango. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, these boots have been falling apart pretty much, like really badly. So that little G on the back is faded into like a C almost.
And that's the boot with the
The
American
American
sole.
flag on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has the American flag. What do you call it? It's not croc skin.
You talking about the sole or the vamp?
I think it's the Vamp.
Okay. It's probably either fabric or goat leather. Um,
Yeah. Which oh yeah, something I forgot to specify is that with the interceptors, I know I said that they're a combat boot, but those are pretty much wondering they're a lace boot. This, however, the Durango I got, they're a Western boot, so
yeah.
with a rubber outsole.
Yeah. And my first pair of boots were cowboy boots, but I'm starting to branch into more lace up boots, and we'll get into that later on in the
Yeah.
video. But cool, man. I'm assuming they're fabric lined, right?
Yeah, yeah, mostly.
Yeah. How are they holding up? They holding up? I mean, because I've seen those boots in person
Yeah,
multiple times.
they are falling apart, but they are they're still holding up really well despite the fact they're ripping, tearing, falling apart. I mean, I had a piece on one of my one side of the pair where it's like the bottom part was coming off. I think it ripped off too.
Yeah. Mm.
Around the fucking heel area.
Yeah.
So these are normal toe for anybody who cares to know that.
Square toe.
Yeah, they're also square toe. Yeah,
Okay.
they're
Um. Oh, when you say normal toe, you mean soft toe.
soft toe, normal toe. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
there's no rubber, steel, or whatever the hell. It's not composite or anything.
Okay, yeah. It's just it's
It's like a regular leather toe boot.
yeah. Um, yeah. I had a pair of what were they called? Not Jim Green. They were um,
Well, those aren't Western wear boots.
yeah. They were. I forget the name. If I had them in front of me, I would I'd tell y'all because I hate these boots. I bought two pairs of their boots. Overall, my first pair I bought probably junior year of high school. Uh, and to put in reference, I'm 6'4", 250 50 plus pounds. So I'm a big guy, and I run in them. I go in creeks in them,
Holy shit, you
mud.
can.
Yeah. Um, I'm using them like boots, and I took care of them. And I kid you not, 3 months into it, sole fell off, like just immediately. I don't know what happened, but something wrong with the stitching or something. I don't know. Fell off. I took them back, didn't give me a refund. So then I saw another pair of their boots, and I bought them as more of a dress boot. And same thing, I wear my dress boots less often, so it was probably 8 months in. You know, I'm not wearing them crazy hard or anything. Excuse me. And the sole falls off, so I'm never buying another one of them boots again. It's a big brand too. It's James something, I want to say. Um I can't remember, but never buying a pair of them. They have lost a customer.
I'm sure they care, Jack.
Yeah, these big corporations, they don't care. uh okay. Well, my next pair of boots I want to talk about is my Lucchese boots, the boots that you're seeing on screen right now actually. So these were Christmas present of mine. They were pretty expensive, so I had to throw in about $200. Um, I think overall I spent around 700 on them. Um, and they're great boots. They're my first more pointy toe boot. Uh, I wasn't very used to that. Now I don't. I don't care. They're actually more comfortable than some of my square toe boots. Um, and I wear those pretty darn often, probably twice a week, most weeks, sometimes three times, sometimes less, but an average about twice a week. And I take good care of them. They've been through a resole. Um, and yeah, I love them. Fit my feet perfectly. Leather looks good. But these I'm not beating them up or anything. These are nice boots. This isn't a type of boot that I'll wear if it's raining outside or if it, these are nice. I don't want them to get dirty or anything. So, do you have a pair of boots like that, man? A nicer pair of boots?
That would be the pair that me and you bought during the pinball convention.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I made a short on them. Or they, I think it's a Laredo or something like that.
Yep, yep, Laredo.
Yeah, Laredo.
A buddy of mine. Uh, Now he's a big guy. I'm not gonna name drop, but he's a big guy. He's probably just under 300 pounds, and he got a pair of those back when he was 17 or so, and he still wears them today. So I have a lot of credit towards them, um, because they can hold up, and he's not taking them easy. Um, so you know they're not personally for me. I don't really like their leather styles. I tend to lean more towards like a shinier boot than a matte finish.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I have a lot of credit for them. How you liking them? Holding up good? How's breaking them in and everything?
First breaking them in was kind of a bitch because, well, these are my very first pair of actual like arched boots. I've never had boots that were arched. All my boots have been flat boots, pretty much, because I've been wearing work boots, right?
Yeah,
These aren't work boots though. These are just casual everyday wear boots, you know. Or
yeah,
at least these ones are. I'm pretty sure are supposed to be actually dress boots, if anything.
yeah. I'd say they're kind of in between dress. I mean, you can dress those up
Yeah.
really nice, or you can, you
They
can.
they have like a rubber outsole on them and
Yeah,
stuff. Like it looks leather in some parts, but it's all rubber.
yeah, yeah,
Just weird, but it's nice though.
yeah. No, that's a nice boot. That's a
One thing
nice
I've
boot.
noticed in the heel though, I
Hmm.
didn't notice it until just now actually, but the heel actually has it has like a block of wood on it, right?
Okay, yeah.
So that's part of why I've been noticing like every single time I wear these boots, I always feel like there's something digging into my heel. It's that wood arch that's doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Uh,
that's what's making the arch.
yeah, and that'll break in.
Yeah,
It'll
which
feel good.
it's a little uncomfortable at first, but after like an hour or so, or maybe 30 minutes, I don't even notice it anymore. It's not even that big of a deal.
Okay, yeah, cool. Uh, well, I think that takes me into one of my pairs. So I have, so I've been online looking at some, high end boots, not dress boots, but high end work everyday boots, and Nicks, Vibram, Westco, JK, all those big brands. I've been looking
Like
at,
handmade boots,
yeah, handmade Pacific Northwest, heavy duty boots.
heritage style.
Yeah, and I wasn't so sure about lace up, right? Lace up boots. I've always had Western style pull on boots. So
A little more convenient.
yeah, yeah, especially if I'm just running out to take out garbage or something. I don't,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier just to pull on a boot.
Or let's say that, you got something that's on your boot, you need to take your boot off as quick as possible. It's a lot easier to just rip your damn boot off than it is to unlace it and then rip it off.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so my first pair of lace up boots were Thorogoods steel toes. Um, excuse me, and um, you know, I like them. Leather is a bit thin for me. I can feel a lot. Like if I drop a my phone or a wrench or something on my foot, I can feel it. It's not like one of these other pairs of boots I have. It has pretty thin leather on it. Um,
Those are your moccasin styles, right? Or what are they called?
yeah, mock toe. Yeah,
Mocktoe, yeah.
yeah, that's my
I'm not
mock.
gonna lie, those look pretty cool.
Yeah, that's my mock toe. I like the look. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, I really like the lace up. I feel, ankle support. I get crazy ankle support with that. Even though
Oh,
it's even though it's thin leather, it still feels pretty good. Um, and I have a couple of holes in it because it is fairly thin leather. Um, but man, they're nice. They're 8 inches tall, lace up boots. They have a waterproof option I was looking at, but I tend not to go towards waterproof, so I just got the regular one. And this one has a heel. It's not it's not a wedge sole. It's an actual heel. It's short. It's about probably 3/4 of an inch or an inch of a heel. Um, so it's not like a cowboy western style heel, but it does have a heel, and I don't regret buying them, but I don't think I'm gonna buy another pair of them. Um, they're not for me. They're too what's the right way to put this? They're too they're made to they're made to be walked on concrete and gravel all day, in my opinion. They're not made for running around, uh, you know, on land or at the beach or on.
they're like a casual wear kind of boot almost.
Yeah, or if you're working in a shop, I imagine they do great in that.
Yeah.
Or if you're working in like a big warehouse, or uh, it you can feel a lot underneath it. So it's just
Anywhere
not for
that's
me.
not a truck shop.
Yeah, it's just not for me. Um,
I had a coworker that this guy he's for context, this guy's a big guy. Like you remember Jason?
yeah, mm-hmm,
He's like that size but bigger, right? And this guy, he goes through a pair of boots every month.
yeah, mm-hmm.
I don't know how he does it. Like he
Now,
goes through more boots than anybody else in that shop does.
man, I really think that it's size because I can go through a pair of boots and I mean my record is 3 months, but that was just a terrible boot. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, a good boot for it to be comfortable, uh, it starts becoming uncomfortable around 8 or 9 months in. And it's just we're a lot of weight. We're you know we're using a lot of that ankle support. We're in my case, I'm running a lot, so a lot of fast movement on the boot. I'm kicking dirt. It's just it's not designed for people that are bigger. It's not
Yeah.
meant for that.
What's crazy about the previous pair he bought, his last pair, were that they wore mock toes as well, right?
Mm,
And they look nice. I mean, they were like how do you describe it? They looked nice, but I think you could probably kind of tell they were kind of cheap.
yeah,
'Cause, I mean, this guy he just does not care what kind of boots he buys. He just buys the cheapest shit possible.
yeah.
So he buys a cheap ass pair of mock toes that look nice,
Mm,
and it's like halfway through the first week, the fucking outsole is already coming off.
yeah.
It's like, dude, fix that shit or get a new pair or get a more expensive pair or something.
Yeah, financials is always a thing. Some people can't afford it. Some people just don't know too. They don't
Yeah, what's
understand the that if I go out and buy a $250 boot, that's gonna last twice as long than $100 boot.
yeah.
Um,
Financially, for his case, financially wouldn't be an argument point because this guy he makes more than I do. He makes like 3 times more than I do,
he's
or
probably
something like that. Because he's a tech three. I'm only an intern, so
yeah.
you know.
Well, he probably is just ignorant to it, or he may be so big that he can't find a boot that fits his calves
Oh
right.
wow. Yeah.
Because I know that's a problem for some people.
It's-
So,
Yeah, fucking. He's finally got rid of them like last week, and now he's got a new pair finally.
well, that's good.
Yeah.
You got any other boots, or is that all your boots?
I got my work boots, which I don't have with me on hand right now, but I do know what kind of boots they are.
All right, go ahead and talk about them for
Or
a
I
second.
vaguely know what kind of boots they are. I know the brand. The brand is it's Throw Goods, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're they're just like a stereotypical like a Western style steel toe work boot. But what's I guess some little extra stuff about it, it's slip resistant, it's oil resistant, typical stuff like these boots. From what I was told when I got them, these boots are supposed to be for like oil field work, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
uh, like one of my dad's buddies, he's been working oil and gas for almost his whole fucking life, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he buys this specific pair of throw goods like every single time he needs a new pair of boots
Yeah.
because I guess they're just that good. Apparently, there's something about them with like if you stand in like water that has like electric current going through it or something like that, like you largely won't be affected by the electric current.
Yeah. That's the same with my throw goods. They're
Yeah.
which is good because I'm working with high electricity right now.
Yeah, they got that rubber outsole. They got those big lugs on them and whatnot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're overall they're pretty comfortable boots. I mean, after like a few hours, I mean, I work 10-hour shifts, so yeah, my at first my feet are a little cramped in them, but the more and more I walk in them, the less cramped they get and the more comfortable it is.
Yeah.
But there's until it's like the end of the day where they start to hurt. My feet start to hurt like hell.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I've been wearing these boots all fucking day, so it's like if you're wearing steel toes all day, man. I mean, they're heavy boots. They are not light boots. They are heavy boots.
Yeah.
They're
Mm-hmm.
not like those interceptors where they're cheaply made of lightweight, cheap material.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, they're
yeah,
made
it's
like
either
that so they last.
yeah, because they're built to fucking last. Yeah, I mean, like the most damage I have on mines are that mines are stained with oil
Mm-hmm.
and have like a bit of the steel toe is kind of exposed because I was stupid enough to drop a wall panel on them and it cut some of the leather off.
Yeah. Well, that happens. I got
Yeah,
holes on mine too.
that's what they're for. They're work boots.
Yeah.
They're they're to protect your feet like that. So
Yeah.
I ain't complaining about that. They're a good pair of boots. I love them.
Yeah. I will say one thing with Thorogoods. They break in very fast.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I see that.
that's that's interesting to me. Uh,
Mine's broken in like I want to say a month.
really?
Yeah,
Okay, mine broke in probably I want to say probably 2 weeks. But I'm wearing them. I'm a heavier guy, so I'll probably take an
yeah.
impression of my foot a
I'm
bit faster.
I'm like 150 fucking pounds, so
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm about average weight.
Yeah, but you're not like a crazy, thin guy either. You're
Yeah,
about average, I'd say, weight wise.
well, that's what I just said, Jack.
Oh,
You baboon.
yeah. Um,
Childlike insults, Jesus Christ.
yeah.
So when are we gonna be allowed to say racial slurs?
We're not.
Um, but it's fun.
Maybe for you. Let's change the subject. Um, that just messed up my mind. So let's start talking about boots that we'd like to get. So I'll go ahead and start off because I'm actually waiting on a pair of boots right now. So
Ooh, yeah, those.
yeah, so I I told y'all I was looking for a nicer, you know, heavier duty Pacific Northwest style boot, and that's why I bought the Thorogood so I can test out if I like the laces or not. Right. So I did about I want to say mm, probably a month of like really looking. I've known about them for years, but probably about a month of really digging into it, trying to see which brand I'd like because there's probably 15 or so brands. You got Westco, you got Vibram, you got Nix, you got JK, you got Whites, you got there's a bunch of them. Uh, I decided to go with a pair of Nix boots, just because I I see more of them, and I personally I like the way they look a bit better than some of these other ones. Uh, for me, it was in between Nix and JK's. Um, so I went with a pair of Nix. They're the Overlanders, and I got them 10 inches tall. Um, and I got some bison leather uh, on the or their bison leather, and I'm pretty excited about them, man. I think I got about 2 more months or so to wait um, before they come in. But Yeah, I like those a lot. Um, or I think I'll like them a lot. I like how they look. I like the idea of them. So we'll see. Um, another.
Didn't they? Didn't Nick's like screw up your boot and they had to remake it?
So what happened? So yes. So what happened was on the Vamp. Uh, they sent me an email. They said, "Oh, something happened. We're gonna have to push your boots another 2 weeks or something." And they said, "We'll give you the piece of leather that we messed up, and we're gonna throw in a catch it all for free." And I was like, "What's a catch it all?"
Interesting.
Uh,
Yeah, what is that?
it's just a leather bowl type thing that you throw your keys and your wallet into when you get home. That's what it generally
Okay,
is.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I'm getting that for free. So I mean, I'm not mad. I don't need them like right now. Um,
Well, that's cool. That's cool that Nick's does that. That's pretty cool that they do that.
oh yeah,
You don't see very many companies nowadays do stuff like that.
oh yeah. They got a 30-day try on policy where I have 30 days to to send them back. If they don't fit or if there's a big error or something. I believe
Yeah.
it's no questions asked. So or it's not no questions asked, but I don't believe that you have to have a certain reason. It can be anything from it doesn't fit me to I want to choose a different leather to it can be anything. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with the service so far.
Yeah, that's cool as shit, dude.
I'm definitely going to be talking about it when I get them. I'm going to come on here and do some video, take some pictures of it. Uh, yeah, and I'm pretty excited about that. It seems I'm pretty happy with that. Another brand,
Oh,
a brand that I was about to go get is JK's, and I believe is that the boot that you want? Like
yeah. I was about almost a year ago. I was actually about to buy a pair of JKs myself.
yeah, go ahead and explain. Like what you what you would want to get.
Like what I was looking at was I was looking at also a bison leather boot as well, and I think I don't know about the stock size, but I think the size of the boot is like a 12D or something like that,
Hmm.
or something about like that it has to be like your boot size, but like two sizes smaller, so
Gotcha.
like, for like that break in period.
It's something like that. I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, like I remember you explained something like that to me when I bought my other boots.
Yeah,
Like you always get like a size smaller for that break in period.
or
Isn't it really?
it's so generally these boots are made on glass, right?
Yeah.
Uh, while these other shoes are not, and so generally they're different sizes. For Knicks, I had to go get my Brannock size, and the Brannock size is a sizing for shoes that it's that metal thing you see on the shoe stores.
Yeah.
Uh, for anyone that doesn't know. And they say to go half a size smaller than that in length and width, stay the same size, and that's for Knicks. Um,
For JKs, they tell you to do that, and like I think it's two sizes smaller.
yeah, or yeah, probably. So they're all different. Hopefully mine fit. We'll see. If not, I'm gonna have to wait another 3 months or so, which I'm fine with. I don't really care that much.
Yeah, it's not like you need them right now.
No. Um, Yeah, I was looking at the um, the JKOT boot, which is
Okay.
which is kind of like their Nix has their Builder Pro. This is the OT is kind of like their Builder Pro, I believe.
Yeah.
Um, so I was looking at that in Bison. Um, I was also looking at there's a YouTube channel that me and Eric both watch. Rose Anvil. They did a
That's,
collaboration and they made a Bear Slayer boot.
ooh, I don't think I've seen that one yet.
I believe you have. Maybe you haven't. But they made a Bear Slayer boot, and uh, you know they look cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. It's not for me. I don't think they have the rough out, uh, which is awesome if you need that rough out. But I don't need that. So you know. So you were looking. What do you know? Which style you were looking at?
Unfortunately, I don't remember the style. All I remember is that I was just looking at bison leather boots from JK. That's all I can remember.
Yeah, that's fine.
And this was about a year ago, so very vague memory.
Yeah, yeah. You know, since we're on the since we're on the topic of brands, this Rose Anvil guy, he showed off a pair of a collaboration that he did with Jim Green, a South African brand, uh, the Barefoot African Trooper, right? And I was about to buy a pair probably a month or two ago, and I decided not to. It's a good thing I did because I got these Knicks instead. I'm still planning on buying a pair of these. What they are is they're barefoot boots. So if you're not familiar with barefoot boots, they're boots with no heel. Uh, Pretty much you're standing on a thin piece of rubber, and that's what it is. You feel everything that you step on. And I had a pair of barefoot boots. I loved them, especially while I was fishing, walking on jetties, walking on the land. I loved them, and I definitely want to get another pair. And these seem pretty badass. My pair, they're fabric. Um, I bought them for like 30 or 40 bucks at Goodwill. Um, these I think cost just just under or just over 300, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, to be honest, off the top of my head, but they're tall, lace up, barefoot boots made out of thick leather. And man, I need to get me a pair of those at some point. If I have those and the
I
Knicks,
think they made a new pair recently as well.
yeah, they made the same thing, but it's more of a traditional boot. They have a heel, and
Yeah.
but it still has a very wide toe box, and I like the wide toe box. Uh, it's not that important if I'm just walking around, but if I'm on terrain, I like the wide toe box. So I'm probably gonna get me a pair of those some point. Uh, we'll see. Money's kind of tight right now, so probably be a little while. Um, but yeah. Any other boots you're kind of interested in, or
Uh, I just figured out the style of JKs I was looking for because I just searched up the barefoot or not the barefoot the Bear Slayer boot.
yeah?
Yeah, it's the OTs. That's what I was looking at.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
but in
was,
any case,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Any other boot you're kind of looking
Uh,
at? You may want to get.
I've been wanting to get some jungle boots actually.
Man, okay, so we're talking about Rosanville a lot, but
Well, this is not Rosanville related. This one at least.
oh,
Is
I heard about them through that. Sorry, you may
I
have not.
I've always known what jungle boots are
Okay.
or in.
Well, I knew of them, but I didn't know that you could that they made high quality pairs, not just like some throwaway pair. Um, but anyway, go ahead.
I was probably gonna buy like a surplus pair of them to be honest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Cool.
because I figured that those would probably be cheaper than buying a brand fucking new pair of them,
Yeah. Hmm.
and they'd already be broken in, so I wouldn't have to worry about break-in period neither.
Well, no, you would, because it's a different foot.
That
Um,
is true. Yeah, I didn't think about that, did I? Fuck.
it may not be as bad. It may be worse. I don't know. I know for my boots,
Depends on
um,
the size, I suppose.
yeah, for my boots that I bought secondhand at Goodwill, they were all fabric boots, so there really was no break in. It was kind of just throw on, they feel good, you know.
Yeah. The reason why I wanted to get those jungle boots, I mean, I've been looking at those since like eighth grade, pretty much.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, long before I even discovered fucking Rosanville.
Man,
Uh,
I've been watching him since like seventh seventh grade.
yeah, I barely even watched YouTube in eighth grade.
Yeah, yeah,
But the reason why I wanted to get jungle boots is because back in eighth grade, we live in the South near like kind of a coastal region, so it rains fucking constantly almost. And when it does rain, it rains hard and a lot. So
yeah.
I think it was like hurricane season in eighth grade. I was walking home because I was getting off the bus and I was walking home because I used to ride the bus,
Yeah.
and just everything got soaked. My backpack got soaked, my shoes got soaked, my clothes got soaked, everything that was in my backpack got soaked, completely wet. So I'm like, man, I need to give me some kind of like boot or something
Yeah.
that like dries quick
Yeah.
or dries quicker and it'll last longer than these fucking tennis shoes will. I kind of did some research into that, found the jungle boot. I'm like, I should get those then at some fucking point.
Go,
I mean, yeah,
sorry, I'm gonna jump in real quick.
yeah, what's up?
You just said last longer than these darn shoes. Man, I remember back in the day when I was a kid, my parents would get so pissed at me because I'd go through a pair of like Vans or like, you know, just average Nike tennis shoes or Adidas tennis shoes. I'd go through them in like, I kid you not, sometimes like a couple of weeks. Um, and man, looking back on it, I should have bought some like clearly not like high dollar boots because my feet were still growing, but
Yeah,
I should have bought some sort of like hiking boot or something that you know could withstand what I was doing. Um, anyway, I thought
yeah,
that was a. I want to jump in and say that.
yeah. Speaking of that as well, a little personal experience of mine. I wore the exact same brand of tennis shoes pretty much my whole life, and I only started wearing different brands of footwear once I got into boots. And it's like every single at the beginning of every single school year, I would always go out and get a new pair of tennis shoes because I would wear my old ones down to pretty much nothing,
Yeah,
and my parents weren't exactly pleased with that.
yeah,
And it's like, well, you're raising a boy, so that's what you get.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I remember. I was probably in like third grade. My parents went out and bought me a pair of I can't remember what they're called. They're like the New York style boot. Uh, I forget what they're called. Um, but they bought me a pair of those, and those lasted pretty long. But they were like, you know, $50. And back in the day, $50 for a pair of shoes for me, you know, my family wasn't in the greatest financial situations. That was a lot of money, you know.
Yeah.
Um, So I had to go back to Adidas and Vans back in the day when you can get a pair for 15, 20
Nothing.
bucks. Yeah. Dude, a couple of weeks ago, or not weeks, about a month or two ago, bought a pair of Vans. They're black Vans. I don't know if you've seen them or not.
I've seen them. You've worn them over at my place before.
Yeah, and
Were those your work shoes?
the Vans? No, they're they're just like casual walking around. I don't really care about them. Shoes, not
Yeah.
it's a pair of tennis shoes. And I bought them on sale for 45 bucks. Originally they were like 90 or something. I got them like pretty much half off, and I was like, man, that's a good deal. I can't pass up on that. And man, the sole's falling off of them. The laces, I like to really cinch down my shoelaces. The shoelaces are becoming untied all the time, so I cut the laces shorter, and now they're unfurling, and you know,
They're falling apart.
yeah, which I expected, but
That's the point. That's the whole reason why you got them.
yeah. Well, I didn't buy them to fall apart. I bought them
Well,
thinking I'd wear them every once in a
that they
while.
would fall apart eventually.
Yeah, which they are, and they're known to. Vans are known to fall apart.
Yeah.
Um, everyone, how the sole starts coming apart. That's what's happening to mine. It happens to everyone. Um, and like today it was raining, and I wore them to go throw out some trash, and my feet were, or it wasn't raining. There was water on the ground because it just rained. My feet are soaked right now. Um, they're not soaked, but they are wet. So I probably shouldn't have
Idiot.
done that. but
Yeah. See, I don't wear those kind of. I don't even wear tennis shoes no more, man. I stopped wearing shoes when I started working. Funnily enough,
yeah,
like the last time I wore a pair of tennis shoes was I want to say back when I still worked at the store because I needed a pair of non-slip footwear.
yeah,
Well, specifically, I needed steel toe boots because
yeah.
I was at the store as a mechanic and fucking I didn't have boots. I didn't have the money to go buy boots because I wasn't paid enough to buy boots.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking evil ass corporation.
Hmm.
Any case, um, so yeah, I was wearing my restaurant boots because before that I had worked at a local bar and grill, and we were in the kitchen. You're required to wear non-slip, uh, shoes and whatnot, and they're nice shoes. They are objectively really nice shoes.
Yeah.
But that was like the last time I ever wore a pair of tennis shoes, and that was back in like I want to say July. Ever since
Okay.
then, if it's not boots, then it's been Hey Dudes I've been wearing.
Gotcha. See,
Like
I'm
those
more.
American flag ones I have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those I've worn those so much to the point where there's a perfect footprint in the sole.
Yeah. I'm personally a Croc guy.
Ugh.
uh, because when I'm out, I still go to the beach fairly often, so I'm out there and just getting wet. I'm fishing, and they're nice. I prefer them over Hey Dudes just because Hey Dudes, when you get them dirty, you can't clean them very well. With
Yeah,
these,
mine are dirty as shit.
yeah, with these I just hose them off, or I wear them in the shower and they get cleaned. Um, so
Yeah, I wore Crocs like one time in my life, or like one time period. Like I was like very young. I haven't worn Crocs since those days because man, I would wear Crocs, man, and my feet would be blistering every time I wore them.
yeah,
I was like, I ain't gonna wear this shit anymore. Fuck that.
yeah. All right. Well, let's get to our last little thing here. Concert boots. So
Concert boots. Ooh, this is my realm.
yeah. So I'm gonna start off a little bit. So I've been to a fair amount of concerts. I've been to, well, I'm 19 and I've been to 7 concerts, and I've always worn Keen boots. They're like a hiking brand boot, because that's what I had at the time. You know, I couldn't specifically buy a concert boot because
Yeah.
realistically, you don't need them if you're going to normal concerts. But
It really depends on what kind of concert you're going to. Will depend on what kind of footwear you're gonna want, really.
yeah, exactly. If you're outside, inside, if you know
If
you're
you're going to a small venue that's like a metal or a punk concert, then you're gonna want some like steel toes or Doc Martens.
yeah. So
You're going to want a very aggressive boot.
I went to a concert, deathcore with Eric and some other
Yeah.
buddies, and I was wearing those Keen boots because I didn't really think about it. You know, I was just oh, you know,
And you made a mistake.
yeah. And you know they got the mosh pits and all that. I get in the middle of that. You know, that was fun, really fun. But I kept on slipping because it was like tile flooring, and those Keen
Yeah.
boots just had no traction on there. So I was falling, getting trampled over. Those guys were actually really nice, though. You know, they helped me up like every
Well,
single time. It's really cool.
well, yeah. I told you about this before you jumped in that there's unspoken rules about the pit.
Yeah, I learned a couple from you. I don't think I know all of them. That's a topic for another video, though. But
That's
um,
another day. Yeah.
but I knew a couple. Anyway, that was not the right footwear for that. I
Yeah.
was
No,
slipping and sliding.
you're gonna want an outsole that's a little more aggressive. That's way more grip than what you had.
Well, I had grip. The problem was it just wouldn't
Not
grip
enough.
tile. So anyway, I'll let you talk about this. This is more of your expertise.
So when it comes to I'm more well versed in like smaller like metal and punk concerts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, comparing that like what we went to that deathcore concert comparison at the Scout Bar
Yeah.
in comparison to where I'm going to be going in April, which is ACDC's last live tour with Brian Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
That's concert like that. It's going to be wear whatever kind of footwear you want to wear because you're most likely you're going to be sitting down. You're not going to be. Most people aren't going to be in the pit, and even if you are in the pit, it's only really a photo pit. It's not really like an actual mosh pit like it is at smaller concerts or big festivals and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll still be wearing my concert boots. I'll still be wearing those, but compare a big band like a really big well known band like ACDC to something like a small punk band that's local that nobody's ever heard about. You
Yeah.
know, if you get into if you get into the pit at those concerts, it's not just a photo pit. It's a full blown mosh pit. Like it's especially if it's a punk concert or a hardcore concert, and it is going to be fucking barbaric. I mean, people are going to be literally punching and beating the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
So you're gonna want some steel toe boots in that case.
Hey man, I'm ready. I'm ready to go back into that, man. The adrenaline, man, that was fun. I'm
Well, you only got a taste of the deathcore
yeah, I
uh,
know, I know.
ones. Those ones are literally just jump around and push people. It's it's nothing. But those punk concerts, man,
No, that's what I
there's
want. That's what I want. You know, I'm
those
good.
there's stories where there's stories of people who have like brain damage from being in those mosh pits and stuff.
Hey man,
People keep punching them in the head.
life is short. You might as well experience stuff while
Yeah,
you're young. You know.
let's have some fucking fun with it.
Yeah. So we're getting a bit off track here. What type of boot would you uh what type of boot would you want to wear to one of those more smaller scale?
Extreme concerts.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would have to probably be Doc Martens. And there's a good reason
Ooh,
for it.
we're get okay. I gotta. Okay, go ahead.
There is a good reason why Doc Martens. I mean, every single time you go to like any punk show or something like that, you the one boot you will always see is a Doc Marten boot. You'll always see those, but there's a very specific Doc Marten boot that you'll see. Then it's made, and that this Doc Marten boot is specifically made and tailored towards this scene. It's a steel toe boot. It's a black boot. It has, it's what else? There's the outsole is made to be very grippy, very like especially on like more like flat surfaces. One I think it's slip resistant as well. It
Mm-hmm.
could be a regular work boot if you want it to be, but it's definitely meant for the concerts. It's one of their most aggressive boots they've ever made. It's a really cool boot. I'm trying to get myself a pair of them
Mm-hmm.
for for extreme concerts like that.
You
And
know,
yeah,
I'm
what's up?
glad you said that because I haven't had a pair of Dark Doc Martens, but I have a family member who has, and they did not hold up. And this is a person that's probably 120 pounds, you know,
Yeah.
little, and they did not hold up. So I'm glad, if you just said Dark Martens, I'd kind of challenge you. But what you just said, I'm not familiar with
Yeah,
that.
I'm looking at a very specific pair, not just any pair, because it really depends on what kind of pair of Doc Martens you get, depending on their quality.
Yeah,
Some are going to be absolutely garbage, and then there's others that they're going to last. They may not last forever or very long, but they will last.
yeah. Mm. No, that's okay. I may look into that. Kind of see what you're talking about because that's interesting.
Yeah. There's a little side thing too. Uh, Laces, when it comes to the punk scene and Doc Marten boots,
Mm.
laces have a really big key role in that. And mostly defining political ideologies and stuff. I'm not going to go into it really,
Mm.
but if next time any of our viewers are at a punk concert or something, and you're a little new to the scene, you kind of want to get a little taste of what everybody's kind of politically aligned to. Pay attention to those shoelaces. They will tell you a little bit.
Gotcha, gotcha. I know before we got on this, you kind of mentioned that. That's an interesting thing. I
Yeah,
would have
it's a whole.
never thought about that.
I think it's I think it's mostly an English thing or like a German thing.
Okay.
At least with the more right leaning side of things, it's more that area. But I haven't seen very too many examples of them in America though.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Cool. Well, do you got anything else to add, or we about done here?
The Holocaust never happened.
All right, man. We're not going to get into this. Yeah. So,
Nah, 9/11 was an inside job. That's about it. And Epstein didn't kill himself.
look, man. I can't be talking about this stuff. All right.
I'm joking, everybody. I'm not being serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
No.
somebody going to take that seriously?
Take everything that we say with a grain of salt. We're not. I mean,
Most of it's just our opinion. So
yeah. Or we're just screwing
criticize
around.
us, but just don't take us seriously.
Yeah. Uh. All right. Well. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna try to add our Instagram to the description if you want to look into that.
Don't be racist
Yeah. Please don't be racist. Um.
and try
And
not to hurt sensitive Jack's feelings.
oh yeah, you know me. I'll be bawling if someone calls me ugly.